Hey guys, Dani Schafer here. I'm the blogger from Girl Living Out the Word, and for those of you who follow my blog, know that I'm doing a video series on modesty, and for those of you who do not follow my blog but would like to, you can do so by clicking on the link below. So this is video numero 5, number 5, in the video series. And if you want to catch up on the other 4 videos, you can do so by visiting my channel. Okay, so last week in Modesty of the Ears, I read a verse from Matthew chapter 18. And I mentioned that it segues into what I'd be talking about today, modesty of the eyes. So, what better way to start the day than with that Bible verse? Okay, so Matthew chapter 18, verses 8 and 9. If your hand or foot causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter into life maimed or crippled than with 2 hands or 2 feet to be thrown into eternal fire. And if your eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter into life with 1 eye than with 2 eyes to be thrown into fiery Gehenna. Okay, so as I mentioned last week, don't literally tear out your eyes or ears or anything for that matter. But the Bible does command us to be modest with our eyes. Now, it commands us to, but why should we? Well, think about it this way. When we were little, we learned things by watching. We would watch our parents do something, and we would imitate that behavior. As we get older, we like to think that we can choose what we learn a little bit, like even if we are watching it, that we're not learning it. But guys, we're not that cool. We're not that advanced. Our brains are still learning those behaviors when we watch them. So if we choose to watch immodest behaviors, we're learning immodesty. And that creates a conflict because if we're watching things that are immodest, but we're striving to be modest, we're making it a lot harder on ourselves to choose modesty, because then you have an inner contradiction going on, like the devil and the angel thing, like immodesty, modesty, immodesty, modesty, and then you have a big headache after that. So if we strive to watch things that are modest, then it'll make it easier for us to ultimately choose modesty. Okay, so how do we do this? Like the ears, it's hard to avoid, but the best thing you can do is try to avoid it as much as you can. Well, start with TV shows and movies. Now, I'm very well aware that most TV shows contain a little bit of immodesty. And likewise, I'm aware that a lot of shows have a lot more immodesty than others. And with that, I suggest you guys use your own discretion and your own prayerful discernment. Think about it this way. Would you be comfortable watching that show with Jesus in the room? Okay, how about this one? Would you be comfortable watching that show with the Blessed Mother, Mary, right next to you? If the answer is no, the show is probably not worth your time. Actually, not probably, it's not worth your time. It's not worth learning that immodesty. So find something else to watch or do. There's a lot more out there. And we don't need that. You don't need to learn that immodesty. Next point, Facebook. I love Facebook. I have a link for my page right in the little description box. And I love going on Facebook. I love talking to my friends, and I love the Catholic memes, and I like going through my newsfeed, and often this is a day in my newsfeed. Awesome saint quote by one of my friends. Oh, it's a cute picture of a kitty. Oh, the nun posted something awesome. Oh, there's a Catholic meme. That's a funny Catholic meme. Ha ha ha. And then I hit a post where it's full of swear words, and on the next post is something sexual, immorality, and something I didn't want to see, didn't need to see. Guys, I don't need to see that. Why is it on Facebook? So, what I discovered is Facebook has a nice little hide button. So you just like scroll your cursor that way, click hide, and poof, it's gone. You can even control what you see from certain friends. So if you have a friend that has a habit of swearing in their status updates, you don't have to have their status updates pop up in your newsfeed anymore. How awesome is that? Okay. So we do our best to avoid it when we can. And I know it's hard with the friend situation because many times I've gone to watch a movie with friends, not realizing what we're watching, and then I get in there and it's filled with sexual immorality and ickiness. And what can you do? Avert your eyes and pray is what I've done, and my friends laughed at me for a little bit, but it evangelized them because they found also that I was uncomfortable with it, and I explained why, and they actually respected that. So, guys, if they're really your friends, they will respect that. They will respect that you don't want to see that. And likewise, because they respect you, they will stop watching those kind of things in front of you. Similar to the ears. It won't be in front of you. And hopefully they'll stop picking those movies and those shows themselves. So you're also helping them to grow and helping them to become more modest when you speak up. So don't be afraid to speak up, even if it is a little scary. I know it is, but don't be afraid. It'll all work out. Now, last point I want to make is we should not only be modest with our eyes for our sake, but for the sake of others. Now, everywhere you look, there's pictures of half-naked people everywhere. I don't understand, but they're everywhere. And it's hard to avoid them. Boys and girls both. They're everywhere. But we should try to avoid them, and we should definitely not seek them out. Now, the best example I can have for this, being a girl, is Taylor Lautner. He is a very attractive man, but when he poses in those pictures without his shirt, that's what I notice, and that's what others notice too. We notice him for his body, not for who he is. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. I'm sure he's got a great personality, but we don't see that because we're distracted by his body, and that's all we see. And I know personally, I wouldn't want to be seen as an object or just for my body. I want to be seen for who I am, for what my soul is, not for as an object. And when we see those pictures, we make them into objects, even of our own gender too. Like, I'll be flipping through a magazine, I've talked with friends about this before too. We'll see a picture of a girl modeling a swimsuit, and to us it's just a picture, and we forget that that girl has a family, and that she probably loves sports and loves chocolate ice cream and likes to laugh with her friends, and you forget that that's actually a person in that picture. That's actually a child of God, a creation of God. You forget that, and that person becomes an object, and that's so sad. So what we should strive to do is when we see these pictures, because like I said, they're hard to avoid completely, is we should remind ourselves that that person is a child of God. And with that, we should pray that more people will see that. And with that, we will strengthen our own modesty of the eyes, and we'll help them. Because even if the pictures, even though these people are open to posing in these pictures, and they may not be commanding respect because they're choosing to pose in these pictures, we should still give them that respect and that dignity because they are children of God, just like we are. So give the same respect and dignity you would like to receive. The golden rule. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. And next week we will be talking about modesty of the body, which ties in really well because how do we keep ourselves from becoming objects in other people's eyes? There we go. Okay, so until then, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is Dani Schafer @CatholicGlow. Glow is in all caps. And I have a Facebook page, as I mentioned before, so you can click on the link below and go like it because it's a good page to like because I post all my updates there, so it's all in one nice little place. And then also the link to my blog, everything's on there. So yeah, go check out those. And until then, God bless and have a good day.